I'm Brian Winnekins. We are at the NAFB Washington Watch Convention, and our Washington Watch broadcast being brought to you in part by Growth Energy, AMPI, the Ann Thompson Insurance Agency, your American Family Insurance agent in Mondovi, the Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, and Annabis Silo of Durand. I'm with Roger Johnson. We are at the National Farmers Union booth. Roger, we're going to talk about cool. And for those that it's not cool weather, it's not cool to be cool, it's country of origin labeling. And this has been a pretty big fight over the last few years.
It has been. You know, our members have supported country of origin labeling on products for decades now. You know, we were instrumental in getting it into the 2002 Farm Bill, never got implemented. We got it back in the 2008 Farm Bill, finally got implemented. No sooner did it get implemented than the big packers in the U.S. basically sued to stop it. And we had foreign interests, Canada and Mexico, that also filed a complaint with them at the WTO. And the WTO said the law is fine, but the rule, the way it's implemented, is wrong. It's problematic. And so we went back to the WTO and looked at that ruling. USDA very carefully examined it and issued a new rule, which was more precise, because that's what WTO said, was that you're gathering information from producers, but you're not clearly providing that information to the consumers. So USDA went back, issued a new rule, made it more precise, put that in place, and the packers sued us. And so we've been in court ever since. Two decisions have been rendered in the district court and the Court of Appeals here in Washington, D.C. Both decisions have been in our favor. We intervened in this lawsuit on the side of the government, on the side of USDA, because at the end of the day, producers are proud of what they produce. They want consumers to know that this is American produced beef or pork or lamb or what have you. And consumers, 90+%, no matter what survey is ever done, they always want to know more and more and more about their food. And so consumers want to know, producers are proud of it, they want the consumers to know. Why shouldn't we tell them? Well, the reason we shouldn't tell them, according to the backers, is because they can make more money by bringing in foreign product and blending it off with U.S. origin product and selling it as though it is all U.S. product. And that shouldn't be.
I know at the WTO, I know that Canada and Mexico, they're like, well, we're gonna review this rule. We're still gonna take it. We may, and the WTO is still kind of looking at it. Yeah. Is there a concern that they're going to rule against the new rule the way it's implemented?
Well, there's always that risk. You know, they ruled initially against the rule, and so USDA issued a new rule. And now that's going to be before the WTO, and they will make a decision on, even if they rule against that one, which they shouldn't, because it was designed specifically to fix the issues that the WTO highlighted initially. But even if they rule against it, then there's some long appeal process that is permitted before there's the right to do anything else, and USDA probably has another chance to try and tweak the rule again to make it comply to the WTO standards. But just think about this. Isn't there something just fundamentally wrong about entering into a system that would say, consumers, you can't know what producers want you to know about the food you eat? I mean, how do we end up in such a goofy spot anyway? So ultimately, we think we will prevail at the WTO, but even if we don't, there will be another chance to come around and fix it. These WTO things, they notoriously last forever. I mean, the Canadian softwood timber case that they brought against the U.S., or the U.S. brought against Canada, was a 22-year deal. You know, it just went on and on and on. And so who knows? I mean, it could be something like that with the WTO, or it could be something where they just say, no, this is fine. Interestingly, in all of the background information provided to the WTO, it's apparent there are 70 countries in the world that are members of the WTO that have similar laws to our mandatory cool law. And so the WTO specifically acknowledged in their decision the law is not the problem. Lots of countries have these laws. You have to just be careful about how you implement it such that the benefit outweighs the cost, or at least there's some equilibrium between the benefits and the costs.
Again, we've been with Roger Johnson with National Farmers Union. Roger, as always, thanks for joining us from Washington, D.C. I'm Brian Winnekins.